I survived 100 days as a baby in Minecraft. Now that I'm a baby in Minecraft, I have 100 days to survive kindergarten and everything it has to throw at me. With field trips that nearly end in disaster, a mean old bully wandering the halls making my life a misery, and of course, lots and lots of homework. Can I keep it together to complete my 3 main baby objectives? 1. Go on my first ever field trip and make it back in one piece. 2. Win the National Science Fair without killing anyone. And 3. Survive my 100 days and graduate from kindergarten. Do I have what it takes to survive as a baby in Minecraft? Or will I give up and just take a nap? Stay tuned to find out what happens next. Day 1 as a baby, and here I am! My first day at kindergarten, and boy was I excited. I said goodbye to my mom and watched her drive away. There's no turning back now. I went inside to check the place out, and so far, it's really nice. I give it 2 thumbs up. I walked into the cafeteria to see what was for breakfast, and yikes, this place was full already. Is it me or are all these kids looking at me funny? Okay, I'll come back later. I needed to find my classroom to check in, so I wandered around trying to find it. This one looks like math class. Ew, maths is so gross. After walking up more hallways, I finally found my classroom. Yay! These guys must be my first ever classmates. I can already tell we're gonna be best friends. I took my seat and took out my book. Time to do some learning. Before I knew it, it was lunchtime, and there is nothing I like more than a plate of cookies for lunch. But just before I could tuck in, this guy walked over. His name was Kyle, and he was the biggest, meanest bully alive. He took my cookies and walked away. He didn't even leave me one. And just like that, all my classes were over, and it was time for me to go home. Just as I was leaving, I saw my teacher with some of my new classmates. She came over to me and handed me this. It's a permission slip for a 14-day school field trip to the national park. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be epic! Bye guys, see y'all tomorrow. Day 2 in kindergarten, and today I'm learning how to make a cake. First things first, I needed to find my seat and say hello to my new best friend Cindy. Isn't she so pretty? Then I took out my book and looked at the receipt. Okay, I was gonna need a few things. First, I needed some milk. Ah, there you are in the fridge. Whew, it's cold in here. Then I needed some flour, but where could that be? Oh right, up here in one of these places. Jackpot! I took some of those. Then finally, I needed some eggs. I love eggs, especially fried ones. I put them all together in my cake crafting table and boom! Now I have a cake! I put my cake on top of my desk, very happy with myself, when Kyle walked over. Oh boy, here comes trouble. Kyle went straight for my cake. No! I begged him to leave it alone, but he grabbed it off the table and ate it in one big bite. You're such a meanie! He started to walk away and then he turned around. He had an egg in his hand. Nuh-uh, not on my watch. I grabbed the eggs I had spare. Now we're in a Mexican standoff. Who was gonna go first? Just before it kicked off, the teacher came over. She wanted to see my cake, but before I could even explain what happened, Kyle had left the room. Why I oughta. Never mind, I can always just make another one. On day 3, we started our swimming lessons, and I have to admit, I'm super nervous. Look at that crazy person jumping in from the top row. What kind of irresponsible daredevil with no concern for their safety would do that? Oh, it's Kyle. Figures. Once he jumped in, he came right over to me. He started to tease me about being a big baby and too much of a scaredy cat to do the jump from the top. And while he was totally right, there was no way he was getting away with that. I climbed up to the top jump. Wow, it's so high up here. If I stay here just long enough, maybe everyone will go home, right? Oh gosh. Okay, I have to do this. 3, 2, 1. Ah, no. Oh, sorry. Okay, one more time. 3, 2, 1. Ah! I did it! I jumped. And hey, look, I totally survived. The last class of the day was some camping skills, and I love it. We learned how to pitch a tent and also how to start a fire. We also learned a crucial survival skill, how to make s'mores. Man, these things are delicious. I cannot wait for our field trip, and I can't believe we go tomorrow. How exciting! Finally, day 4 of kindergarten, and it was field trip day. All my class and best friends were lined up and ready to get on the bus to go to the national park. Cindy and I are gonna sit next to each other and sing songs the entire bus journey. 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. And by night 7, we had made it to our camping spot for the next 2 weeks. Woohoo! Once we got there, my teacher assigned us all jobs. And myself and Cindy's job was to catch some fish, make a fire, and cook some dinner for the class. We got our fishing rods from the chest and we headed down to the water. Once we got to the water's edge, we threw in our fishing rod and we waited. It's kind of creepy out here, I'm not gonna lie. But after a few minutes, I caught one! I did it! That's so cool! Oh wait, I think Cindy got one too! Pull, Cindy, pull! What the? Whatever Cindy just caught dragged her into the water! Wait! Ah! It's a shark! Get out of there! I jumped in to help her and punched the shark right in the nose! Take that! We climbed out and agreed we best keep the shark attack to ourselves. We made it back to camp and we got the supplies we needed to make our fire out of the chest. First, we put down the fire frame. Then we added the coal, then the cooking kit, and finally, the fish to cook. Woo! We did it! Being a baby is easy work. Once we finished dinner, we had some s'mores for dessert. Man, they are delish. The only thing that could ruin this trip is Kyle the bully, but so far, he's been on his best behavior. On day 8, just after breakfast, myself and Cindy decided to go on a little adventure instead of taking a nap. We hiked up this mountain to see what was on top, but I was starting to think we were never gonna make it. Jeez. Just as the sun was going down on night 8, we arrived to this little flat part of the mountain. Wow, that was great work, Cindy, but I think we should start to head back down now. I noticed Cindy was acting strange. What's wrong? I asked her. But all she kept saying was, cat, cat. What? You're missing your cat? I turned around and there it was. A huge mountain cat, or lion with big scary claws and big scary teeth. Okay, Cindy, let's back up slowly. We started to retreat when it attacked! Ah! Every baby for themselves! I ran for my life and so did Cindy, and thankfully, we managed to get away from that big cat with our lives. Okay, Cindy, let's also keep this one to ourselves too, okay? The next few days we had so much fun learning how to do some archery. You know what? I wasn't that bad. It was a lot of fun until Kyle shot Mikey in the butt. By accident. Or so he says. And then the teacher wouldn't let us play anymore. We even went mushroom picking and I found these crazy looking blue ones. The teacher made me give them to her. She said they could be poisonous. She's no fun. Then on night 13, as I was doing the final head count before bed, I realized I was one baby short, but I couldn't figure out who. I walked around one more time and that's when it hit me. Kyle wasn't there. Oh well, I'm going to bed and he can just stay in the woods tonight. But just as I was about to climb into my tent, I remembered the big cat that attacked myself and Cindy. What if that knucklehead was in trouble? I snuck over to the teacher's tent and looked in the do not touch chest. Inside, I found a blowgun and some paralysis darts. These will come in handy if something is eating Kyle. After following his tracks all night, I came to this little hill, and when I climbed over, there he was. But he wasn't alone. Kyle was surrounded by a pack of wild wolves. Now they could be cool wolves like in the movies, so I signaled Kyle. Caw-caw, caw-caw. He saw me, and by the way he was flailing around, I don't think they were friendly. I took out my blowgun and I nailed one. Only thing was, the rest got angry and started to take it out on Kyle. Run, Kyle, run! Myself and Kyle ran for it. I tried slowing them down with darts and eventually, we did it. Only problem now, the sun is coming up and if we don't make it back to camp before the teacher wakes up, we'll be dead meat. The next few days we didn't really leave the camp. We just chilled around and told some ghost stories. Oh, and we also chased this turkey around for a bit. It was really fun. Day 16, the final day of the camping trip before we head home. I was packing up my tent when I realized my backpack was gone. Okay, who took it? I checked Kyle's tent, but it wasn't there. Then I noticed some prints heading away from my tent. I got Cindy. Time for an adventure. We continued to follow the tracks later into the afternoon, but still no sign of my backpack. Where could it be? Eventually, the track leads us to this huge cave. I wonder what's inside and why they took my backpack. We started to head down to the cave and man, it was big. I mean, you could fit so many Kyles in here. We jumped into this little stream and it brought us down further. Whee! After a few more minutes walking into the cave, we came to the final bend. And around the other side, a bear! Oh my gosh, Cindy, do not move a muscle. She wanted to go back, but he has my backpack and it has my favorite teddy bear inside. There's no way I'm leaving here without it. We snuck closer and closer, trying our best to be as quiet as we could. It looks like he's sleeping. I snuck right past him and grabbed my backpack. But just as we were about to leave, he woke up! Ah! Run, Cindy! He swiped at me with his big paws and I punched him in the chin. We ran for our lives and after a few seconds, he lost interest. Wow, that was a close call. Time to get back to camp so we don't miss the bus home. Back on the bus for some more sing-songs. What's that coming over the hill? Is it a brown bear? Is it a brown bear? On day 20, I started my all-new class, science. Wow, would you just look at this place? It's got beakers of green and pink goo. Telescope things, or at least I think that's what it is. And they even have a potion wall. Wow. I took my seat and calmed down. All this is just too much for me right now. My science teacher told me that today we were going to dissect a frog, whatever that means. But first, we would need to catch the frogs. We went outside to a little pond just outside the school and looked. There were so many frogs. I was gonna try and catch them all, but it didn't go to plan. I ran around with my net trying to catch even one frog, but they just kept hopping away, laughing at me because I couldn't catch them. After a little while, I gave up. That's when Cindy came over to me. She asked me if I knew what dissecting means, and when I said I didn't, she explained it to me. Oh my gosh, how could we do that to these poor little frogs? I could see my teacher already had some frogs trapped in a little glass case. That evil woman. Cindy went over to distract her while I grabbed this rock. I got a little closer, then I threw the rock at the tank, and it broke! Run, my pretty froggies, run! Needless to say, my teacher was not happy with me. The following week was a school holiday. I stayed at home with my mom and dad during the day. And then in the evenings, my best friend Cindy came over for sleepovers and we watched some scary movies. On day 29, just as my science class was ending, I overheard Kyle talking to the teacher about some science fair. But the teacher said the only way he could join was to show that he was hardworking and mature enough. Good luck with that, Kyle. What was he talking about? I went down the corridor towards the headmistress office when I saw she wasn't there, but her computer was still on. I jumped on and Googled a science fair. Turns out there's a huge national science fair on here in a few weeks, and first place gets $100,000. Wow, I had no idea what dollars are, but 100,000 of them sounds like a lot. I wanted in. Over the next 5 days, I turned up to every class early and I sat up front. I wanted to show my teacher I was totally mature enough to enter the science fair. I even pretended to stay back after school and read so she could see I was more smart than everyone else. And I think it was working. Because on day 35, the teacher announced the 2 candidates that would represent our school in this year's National Science Fair. And it was me and... Kyle? What? Aw, come on! Whatever, I could totally win, so no big deal. Bring it on, Kyle. On day 36, I went into the city with my mom to go get some supplies for the fair. But first, McDonald's! I went in and there was no queue. Jackpot! I ordered a Big Mac, fries, chicken nuggets, and a chocolate milkshake. But my mom said no, so I got a Happy Meal instead. Then we had to go to the stinking baby store next to get some diapers. But I don't know who they're for, cause I totally don't wear them anymore. Oh, jeez. And finally, we arrived at the chemist so I could get some supplies I needed to start my science project. I got some medikits and empty syringes. I don't know what I'll need them for, but hey, who cares? Then our final stop of the day was at the hardware store. I grabbed some measuring tapes, some saws, a wrench, and finally a fire alarm because I have no idea if this is gonna work. Over the next few weeks, Kyle came to my house after school to work on our science fair project. I wasn't happy about the fact that we had to work on it together, but hey, I want to win, so what does it matter? And by day 43, it was really coming together, whatever it is. And by day 50, we think it was pretty much ready. This is our Telestir Autotrophia. It makes popcorn at twice the speed of a normal microwave, and it would look great in any kitchen. Time to boot this puppy up, Kyle. I took a step back while Kyle went around the back to get it started. Okay, here it goes. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, my house! Wait, Kyle! I ran over to check on Kyle. He was okay. Oh my gosh, I thought he was dead. Wow, my house is destroyed. Do you think my mom is gonna notice? On day 51, I walked into the cafeteria for lunch feeling very deflated. I mean, my science project just exploded yesterday. I sat down with my friends and they instantly made me feel better. Turns out, over the next few weeks, everyone is having birthday parties and I'm invited to them all. I can't wait. After lunch, I went and told the science teacher what had happened. She told me to never give up. There is still time. I just need to figure out what exactly I could do. I went to the computer's room to try and get some inspiration. Come on, little Kelly, think. Computers, office chairs, chairs have wheels, so do cars. Cars have engines, engines drive cars. Cars have wheels, so do office chairs. Office chairs go inside offices. Offices have computers. That's it! Wait, what? Did I just end up at computers again? Oh man, this is never gonna work! But just as I was leaving school later that day, I spotted Stacy lying with her stuffed bear. I went over to say hi when I overheard her wishing that the bear could come to life and play with her. That's it! That's my idea! I'm gonna make a ray gun or something, I don't know yet, but some kind of ray gun to make stuffed toys come to life! I'm gonna be rich! Over the next few days, deliveries from Amazon were arriving at the school, filled with parts I ordered for my project. I hope the school's credit card statement comes after the science fair. But one by one, I tried the laser guns out. First up, this bad boy. I've read good things, so here goes nothing. Wow, it sounds cool, but where did the teddy bear go? Oh man, I think I sent it to another dimension or something. Okay, the first one didn't work, but I have confidence in this one. Okay, load it up, take aim, and whoa! Oh geez, that was a loud explosion. I better get out of here before a teacher comes. I came back a few nights later to try out my next masterpiece. I think this one is gonna do the trick and make my teddy bear come to life. 3, 2, 1. Aw, come on! I'm running out of teddies here. Wait, is that the cops? Yikes! This is my final chance. If this thing doesn't work, then I'm doomed and I'll never win the science fair. Okay, here it goes. I loaded this thing up. Man, it was heavy. Then I pulled the trigger. But wait, nothing. I tried again. What is going on? I pulled it over and over and over again, but still nothing's working. I spotted a little switch on the side, and when I pressed it, all hell broke loose. Oh, please stop shooting! Oh my gosh, I just blew the supplier place up! Ah! Run away! I stayed low-key for the next few days. I was convinced the FBI, or the DEA, or the CIA, or even the mall cop Mike was gonna come and arrest me for blowing up the school baseball thing. I really didn't know what I was gonna do about the science fair, and I'd be pretty confident that Kyle hasn't done anything either. We are so doomed. I was back at normal kindergarten for the next few days, learning how to grow my own pumpkins and melons. Pretty cool stuff, but nothing science fair worthy. I had some time to play with my friends, and Kyle, but he's still up to his usual tricks, bullying kids for their lunch money. When will he ever learn? I even joined a school band on day 68. We called ourselves the Dirty Diapers. I think we've hit our rebellious stage of life, and it feels good. But some of the teachers didn't agree. One of our songs, All the Teachers Have Smelly Feet, didn't go down too well, and now I'm on a controlled timeout. More like controlled prison time if you ask me. Okay, I'm finished being a rebel. Is it lunchtime yet? I was just leaving my final class of the day on day 70 when Kyle threw me this note. It said, "Meet me outside behind the sandpit. We are gonna settle this today." What on earth is he talking about? Settle what? I went straight outside to see what Kyle was talking about when I saw all these guys waiting around. I asked Cindy what was going on, and she told me that Kyle said me and him were gonna fight? What? I didn't agree to that. But before I could do anything, Kyle showed up. I asked him why is he doing this, and he said, because you ruined our science project. Oh really? You think I ruined it? Fine, bring it on, punk. We circled each other for a few seconds until he got close enough, and then I went full kung fu on him. Wow, he didn't even flinch. Oh gosh, he's gonna kill me! Ah! I tried to run, but he caught me. Here it comes, the punch of death. Ah! I woke up in the nurse's office. I checked to see if I still had all my teeth. I did. I asked her if Kyle survived after my punch. You know, maybe he got some pains or something. But no, not even a scratch. This got a little too far. Fighting is not the answer. Over the next 10 days, all the birthday parties started kicking off before the end of kindergarten. And first up, Henry. His house was huge and really nice. He also had a pool. That's so cool. And he also had a little pug doggy. It looks and sounds like a little piggy. But the real surprise was out in the backyard. He has a petting zoo for his birthday! This is so awesome! I got to meet Jerry the giraffe. Nice guy, but he gets a lot of headaches because he keeps hitting his head off the road signs. I got to meet Peter the penguin. He looks like he's doing the T-pose from Fortnite. I even got to meet Carmen the camel. Those camels were not that friendly, but either would I be if I had people sitting on my back all day. And my final stop, the bouncy castle. Wow, look how high I can go. This is amazing. The best birthday party ever so far. Next up was Cindy's birthday, and she pulled out all the stops. Her favorite thing in the world is superheroes, and boy did she not disappoint. Baby Wolverine was there, baby Spider-Man, even baby Hulk made an appearance. Wow, is that Thor? So cool. Even some of the parents dressed up. Good work, guys. I thanked Cindy for the invite. She dressed up as baby Flash. So cool. Then I jumped onto the bouncy castle. My favorite. Later that evening, while I was talking to baby Batman, I realized Kyle hasn't been at any of the birthday parties. Did he not come, or was he never invited? I feel really bad for him. Maybe it's my fault. You know what? I'll invite him to my birthday party when I see him in kindergarten tomorrow. The next day at school, when I was walking to my next class, I spotted Kyle. I went over to him and invited him to my birthday party next week, the day before the science fair. He kind of just laughed at me and then said yes, he'd come. He then told me he has everything sorted for the science fair and that we're gonna win. What does that even mean? Over the next few days, I handed in all of my final kindergarten assignments to my teachers. If I passed all my quizzes and stuff, I got to go on a big fancy stage and graduate soon to big school. How exciting! I invited the entire class to my birthday party here at the school tomorrow, and they all said yes! I'm gonna eat so much candy that I puke! And on day 90, it was party time! All my friends showed up, including my teacher, because she's awesome, but no sign of Kyle. A little bit later, when we were doing some painting with Bozo the Clown, Kyle showed up, and right away, he started acting out. I wanted this sorted out now. Why is he being so mean? I marched right over to him. Hey, why are you being so mean to everyone? I invited you here to have fun and play with us, not to bully us. If you're gonna be this mean, you can just leave. He told me that he thought this was a prank. No one ever invites him anywhere. He apologized to everyone, and then he got on the bouncy castle. And for the first time ever, I saw Kyle smile. My mom always says, kill them with kindness. Day 91, the National Science Fair. I was waiting outside the main hall for Kyle. He was running late. Eventually, he showed up and he handed me this thing. He said this laser will turn anything into a real-life object. Man, I hope he was right. We went inside to check out the competition, and boy, it was tough this year. The first guy had created some sort of barrier to keep creepers off your lawn. Very clever. The second one was building a car that runs on candy. Like that could ever work. These guys were working on an app that could help you talk to sea creatures. It's called Seationary. I haven't got a clue what these guys were doing, but it looks like my quick bake microwave. Yikes! And this guy just brought his dogs in. Now that's cute. Finally, these guys were trying to build a toy rocket that could go to the moon. Wow, that's cool. And then there was us. That's my teddy, those are the judges, and we are up first. Man, I hope this thing works. Okay, Here goes nothing. I took out the ray gun and took aim. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, it did it! We did it, Kyle! Wow, he really came through! I went to check out my new supersized teddy when it moved. Wait, what? Is this a real... Ah! Wow! It blew up in my face and destroyed the stage! That was awesome! Needless to say, we did not win. But hey, it's the taking part that counts, right? The following week was go time. I had to get a dress or a suit or something for graduation. Ooh, this one is pretty done. I am one efficient baby. Next, I needed shoes. Shoes, I tell you, shoes! But they were all so pretty. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare thumb more. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the shoe I'll wear to graduate. Perfect, these ones are perfect. And finally, the last thing, and some would say the most important thing, a hot chocolate date with my mom. She really is the best. Here we go, day 100, my graduation day. Everything I've worked so hard for has all led up to this moment. It's time for me to accept my award and make my speech. I walked over to my teacher and got my kindergarten certificate. Then I walked over to the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, fellow babies of kindergarten class of 2021. It hasn't always been easy. Some days we didn't even get to take a nap. But we always powered through because if you work hard enough and eat enough candy, you can truly do anything. If there's one thing I want from all of you, my best friends, to remember, if everyone in the room is looking at you and they can smell something super bad, you probably just pooped in your diaper. And nobody wants a poopy diaper. Thank you. Good night.